Cartwright, Bill Laimbeer getting set. And the Pistons control. John Long and Isaiah Thomas in the backcourt. Thomas putting the move on Sparrow. Laimbeer recovers.
Isaiah Thomas with the penetration, getting the ball over to Laimbeer for 2 points. That's what the Knicks do not want. Isaiah penetrating as Ray Williams is fouled by John Long, driving to the hoop.
So the Knicks will throw it in. Bernard King will inbound. Ray Williams from deep. Ray shooting only 29% during the course of the playoffs and missing on his first attempt. Benson. Rebound King. Sparrow sweeping by Thomas and lost it.
Thomas getting a good job defensively then. Rory Sparrow did not turn around to see where the defensive man was. Thomas was there. The ball went off of Sparrow for a turnover.
Sideline's very confusing because there are two stripes. Here's Isaiah. And a friendly rim for Thomas. Detroit leading it by the score of 4-0. Tough assignment for the officials. It is the white stripe along the sideline. That is the out-of-bounds marker, not the blue that borders alongside. Cartwright with the step in the bucket.
Knicks came down that time, cleared out the side, got it to Bill Cartwright. He went to the hoop against Laimbeer and scored.
Minute gone by. Isaiah Thomas matched with Rory Sparrow. Long off the pick. Strip. Knicks on a fast break. 3-on-1. Thomas back. Sparrow stopped. What a play by Isaiah Thomas. Tripucka. Ray Williams fortunate for a moment and then coughed it up.
Well, Isaiah Thomas has made 3 great defensive plays already in this game, stopping a 3-on-1 situation, and then that time causing the turnover when Ray Williams mishandled the dribble.
Pistons lead it 4-2. Traveling violation on Long.
Ray was fortunate that time. He did not get over to John Long as the Pistons were swinging the ball from strong side to weak side. Here you see Thomas making the super block against Sparrow and then saving the ball, but Detroit did not score on that particular transition play.
Here's Sparrow. Tripucka. And the Pistons look to run. Tripucka with the nice move. By King in the face of Laimbeer, and a foul on Laimbeer. It's a block.
Well, that's a tough call right there because Bill Laimbeer did a good job of anticipating the way Bernard King was going to go. Bernard went to his right. Laimbeer was standing there, as you see it right here. Bernard on his way to the hoop. Laimbeer, he was still moving, I think. We cannot see his feet as Daryl Garrison calls a block. Bernard King goes to the free throw line.
Bernard King, well, the other night broke Bob Pettit's record for most points in a 4-game series. Pettit did it for St. Louis against Detroit back in 1963. King with 41, 46, 46, and 36-point games. And we're tied at 4. Laimbeer.
Now that is something that Detroit has done since the second game, breaking the pressure defense of the Knicks, that time getting it to Bill Laimbeer for the 15-footer.
Pistons lead it 6-4, 2.5 in. Here's King. Yes. Well, Bernard finding a friendly rim wherever he plays.
Well, it's a mismatch right now with King going against Benson, as King just came up with the rebound. Thomas knocked the ball away, though. The Knicks still retain the ball.
The one fellow who did provide some difficulty for King, I thought, back at the Garden Wednesday, although Bernard got his points, Earl Curidan kept King deeper than usual along the baseline. Off muscle play. Meanwhile, Ray Williams off to a ragged start.
Real bad start. That time he was trying to make the pass and ended up walking.
Giving giving the Pistons an 8-6 lead.
Again, off of a good pass by Isaiah Thomas, who sees the floor better than anybody in the game today.
Earl Strom on the pushing call. Kent Benson collects his first non-shooting foul.
And Marv, you see Hubie Brown coaching on the side. He's talking to the A-team about something that the first team isn't doing right now, and that's good coaching, and that will keep the other players in the game.
Ray Williams on the penetration. Rebound, Laimbeer. Here's Long. And he was hacked.
Although the score is 8-6 at this stage with Long going to the free throw line, Detroit has been able to get into their transition game more as Thomas gets the pass over to John Long. Now he's on his way to the hoop. He beat King to the baseline. That's a no-no as Robinson comes over and fouls Long as he put the shot up. But Detroit has been able to get into their transition game. That's what they would like. They do not want to get into half-court offense.
John Long, 88% foul shooter, second in the NBA to Larry Bird. In his 6th season out of the University of Detroit, he had a poor one at the Garden, 6 for 15, popping away and not hitting the other night, but others did.
But that was the best game he's had in the series scoring-wise.
Pistons by 4. Nice pass from Williams. King on the spin, and a loose ball foul on the Knicks.
So Robinson going over the back of Laimbeer then as Bernard King got the good position, but he just could not score with the shot.
Early departure for Truck Robinson, who came out hot at the Garden the other night, particularly aggressively off the board. Benson wide open. 12-6. Detroit with the lead on a 20-second timeout call by Hubie Brown.
Well, Hubie is upset with this ball club, especially getting back defensively. They're not getting back. That time they were burned simply because they did not get back. Detroit scored an easy basket. They must get back, see the court, and also try to stop Isaiah Thomas, as you see the pass right there from Kelly Tripucka to Kent Benson, who had beaten Louis Orr to the hoop. So Hubie called the 22nd. He's trying to get his ball club to get some composure and go with the game plan.
You mentioned right at the start that you can see both coaches straying away from their usual formulas because guys have patterns, and I think we'll see that particularly with Hubie Brown tonight. Truck Robinson, who has been invisible during the course of the playoffs, getting the early hook. Nice move by Ray Williams. Yes, and it counts. And Louis Orr came on after Truck picked up his second. And I could see the same for Ray Williams if things don't turn around because Trent Tucker has gone very well.
Yes, you see Ray going to the hoop that time, getting fouled by Kent Benson. They could have very easily called a foul on John Long because he was riding Ray on the hip with his hand then, as pressure defense is applied by the first unit.
Pistons lead it 12-9. Benson getting back. Nice move.
That time, Ray Williams tried to gamble and knock the ball away from Isaiah Thomas. He's much too good with the ball. He made the long pass to Benson for the dunk.
And this crowd urging the Pistons on. 14-9 the score. They triple up on King and took him out of position. Thomas with the shake and bake for Long.
Marv, I said at the top of the show that the Knicks would have to try to stop Isaiah Thomas. They haven't done it here early on as Hubie Brown just called a conventional timeout.
So the Pistons off to the good start. 7:35 left. First quarter, it's Detroit up by the score of 16-9. Back at the Joe Louis Arena, Marv Albert with Butch Beard. Pistons lead it 16-9. And it's Nick Ball following the timeout. Cartwright way off. Benson off the boards. The Knicks only 3 for 9 from the floor. Here's Thomas. Pistons now 7 out of 12 from the field. Ray Williams on the quick release. Yes.
That time the Knicks getting into their transition game, pushing the ball up. Sparrow over to Ray Williams. he scored. Now, this is the way Sparrow must play Thomas. He must try to pick him up early.
5 minutes gone by. First quarter. Benson. Bad shot. He forced it. In fact, he was double teamed. Ray Williams laying it off for Cartwright. Beautiful play. And the Knicks are down by 3, 16-13.
Now, Ray did a super job that time of penetrating. The defense came to him. He kicked it off to Cartwright. The Knicks have scored 2 transition baskets in a row.
Or getting a piece of it, down to 6 on the shot clock. Here's Long, met by Cartwright. And the blocking foul for Cartwright, that's his first.
Well, that's a tough foul for Bill Cartwright to get, simply because Ray lost concentration as the ball is swung here to Long. He goes to the hoop. He simply beat Ray, and Cartwright gets the foul as he tries to come over. Ray should have been down ready to play defense in that situation. He wasn't. Long beat him. Cartwright picked up the foul. John Long shoots 2 free throws.
So the Pistons lead it 17-13. The winner here tonight will go on to face the Boston Celtics, opening that series a best of 7 in Boston on Sunday afternoon. 6.5 remaining, first quarter. And the Knicks down by 5. Williams. Benson looking for Trapuka.
It's a turnover for the Detroit Pistons, but what the Pistons have done, they have put Kelly Trapuka on Ray Williams. That time Kelly released. Ray lost sight of where Kelly was. The Knicks were fortunate that Detroit did not score then.
So the other matchup is Long against King. Chuck Daly continues to shuffle on that matchup.
Well, he's given Bernard already 3 different looks here in the first quarter, although Kelly Trapuka hasn't guarded Bernard King. John Long just picked up the foul. The Pistons are over the limit. Bernard King will shoot 2 free throws. As you see King getting the position, John Long using his body. He was called for the foul. Cliff Livingston comes in for Benson. Johnson comes in for Long. So maybe Bernard King now will see Cliff Livingston on the defensive end.
And both Livingston and Johnson had splendid games at the Garden on Wednesday. Vinnie Johnson playing with a bruised right heel. In fact, was slowed in practice by the heel yesterday, but he had a game against the Knicks the other night. 5 for 11, 15 points, doing it back in his hometown. And Cliff Livingston, the quick leaper, providing all kinds of problems game in, game out, right through the regular season and on to the playoffs. Knicks down by 3, 18-15. Little volleyball effect as Sparrow goes flying. 3 on the shot clock. 2, 1. It's a 24-second violation.
Good defense by the Knicks that time in half court. Detroit did not know the situation on the shot clock. They end up turning the ball over. The Knicks have done a good job, especially when Detroit has been in their half court offense.
Cartwright, played by Laimbeer, trying to return as Thomas came over to help. Now finds the open man. Here's Sparrow. And the crashing foul on Lewis Orr. Or is it Bill Cartwright?
Called the foul on Cartwright for going over the back. Lewis Orr had the inside position, but Bill Cartwright just picked up his second foul. He leaves as Marvin Webster comes in for him.
And the storyline has been when Cartwright is picked up too early, he has not been effective later on. So it's now Webster matched with Laimbeer. The steal, and here's King, chased by Trapuka, let him go. Kelly did not want to pick up the foul. Now the Pistons try to get back, but the Knicks back down court in a hurry. Pistons by 1, 18-17. And King has 8 points. Livingston getting in.
Livingston getting free when Marvin Webster, when the guards jumped out. The guard and the forward tried to double team Vinnie Johnson. He got it to Livingston. Webster tried to rotate on the defense, but Livingston ended up with the dunk.
Here's King over Livingston. So Bernard is 3 for 5. He has 10, and the Knicks are down by 1.
He really amazes me how he gets the good position on the defensive man. It's unbelievable.
Thomas on the spin. Rebound Webster. King to the left, a 3-on-2. Here's Orr, met by Lane Beer, but able to hit. Pretty pull-up by Louis Orr, and the Knicks lead for the first time in the game, 21-20.
Good judgment by Sparrow on the fast break, getting it over to Orr because King was in the left lane and the defense was looking for King to get the ball.
Benny Johnson. Rebound Orr. Yes, Bernard King has 12, and the Knicks by 3, 23-20. Just under 4 remaining, first quarter. Tripucka in a crowd. Oh, what a move, and a foul.
Kelly Tripucka getting the basket. He's fortunate that they did not call the walk on him as he was double teamed. Here you see Thomas getting the ball down inside to Tripucka. Now watch the double team. Watch him. He changes his pivot feet right there before he put the ball on the floor, but he gets a break and getting fouled. Good concentration. Kelly Tripucka has a chance for a three-point play.
So Kelly Tripucka, who came up with that big steal down the stretch to ice it for the Pistons in Game 4. He had a 40-point game back in Game 3. Averaged only 15 a game against the Knicks during the regular season, but he played hurt in a couple. We're tied at 23. King operating on Livingston. Tripucka getting it out for Johnson. And a reach-in on Sparrow, so that'll put the Pistons on the line. Both the Knicks and Pistons over the foul limit. Vinnie Johnson will shoot a pair.
That time, Benny Johnson getting down the floor, and he presents a different problem than Isaiah Thomas. Thomas will beat you with his quickness. Benny Johnson just backed Sparrow up then, shot the little turnaround, went up for the turnaround jumper. Sparrow stripped him of the ball, but was called for the foul.
Here's Darrell Walker, a rookie from Arkansas, replacing Rory Sparrow. Did a good job, particularly as you mentioned, when he was picking up Thomas in the backcourt, and it changed the complexion.
Yes, it did. And Marv, it's up to Darrell Walker to not to try to gamble defensively or against Thomas, or he will break the Knicks defense down all night.
Ray Williams. So Ray has had the hot hand. He's 3 for 6. He has 7 points, and we're tied at 25.
After having a couple of turnovers early on in the game, Ray Williams has settled down and playing now. He's playing good basketball.
3 minutes left. First quarter. Lane Beer. Rebound Orr. So Lewis going to the boards, and he'll surprise you.
And Hubie Brown just said walk it up. Now he wants the Knicks to get into their half-court game, and he's trying to control the game that way.
King rejected by Livingston. Nice play. He was beaten and able to recover. Timeout called by Detroit. 2 minutes, 47 seconds remaining in this first quarter at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, and we're tied at 25. Capacity crowd, 22,000 here at the Joe Louis Arena. The Pistons playing on the same floor tonight that the Detroit Spirits use at Cobo Arena during the Continental Basketball Association. And you see that red spot at the center court that was painted over. Off the steal, Thomas getting it down. Vinnie Johnson. The arena personnel had to use red paint to blot out the logo of the Detroit Spirits of the CBA. Another steal. Thomas around Williams. And he had Johnson with him, but took it by himself. Williams. Darrell Walker over Cliff Livingston, and King missed the stop. Look out. Bernard all right.
I'm trying to figure out what Isaiah Thomas was doing on that layup then. It looked like he had a clear shot to the hoop, and he put up a left-handed off-balance layup.
Ray Williams off the crossover. Now Lane Beer on the rebound. Vinnie Johnson. Tripucka steals it from Orr.
Kelly Tripucka that time was the player who got the good bounce. As you see, Johnson put up the shot. Now Louis Orr mistimes his jump. Kelly Tripucka comes right over Orr, puts the shot up right there. He's fouled. He has another chance for a three-point play simply because Tripucka was in the right place at the right time.
8 points for Tripucka, and the Pistons open a 5-point lead. Trent Tucker has come on for the first time. A kneeing foul, says Earl Strom.
Against Cliff Livingston as he was trying to prevent Bernard King from posting down low. King will go to the free throw line. It's been a lot of points scored here in the first quarter. That has to favor the Detroit Pistons. So the Knicks must continue to try to slow the tempo down as much as possible.
You just saw Earl Curidan come on for the first time. He had a solid effort against the Knicks at the Garden on Wednesday. Knicks down by 4, minute and 42 left in this first quarter. Bernard King now 4 field goals and 5 for 5 from the line. 14 for King, and the Knicks trail 30-27. Some pressure with Walker and Tucker now at the guards. King, Webster, and Orr up front. Johnson on a recovery. 32-27 Detroit.
Benny Johnson just took 2 points that time. Darrell Walker playing the good defense, but Johnson was able to get the ball back and score in the paint.
Webster. And he was hacked.
Earl Strom telling Chuck Daly to sit down as Marvin Webster was bailed out as he made his little move. Here you see Webster going against Livingston, shooting the fall-away jumper. Now he hangs in the air, and Livingston did hit Webster on the elbow. Earl Strom making a good call as Marvin Webster goes to the free throw line. Webster is a 56% free throw shooter.
Knicks trailing 32-28. And first appearance in the playoffs for Ray Tolbert, 6'9", 225 pounds, third season out of Indiana, replacing Livingston, who just picked up his second, and Webster hits on both. So Ray Tolbert, formerly of the Nets and Seattle, was a first-round draft pick of the Nets, getting some action. Thomas for Curidan.
Isaiah Thomas using his dribbling ability that time to break down the full court pressure, getting the ball to Curidan for the stop.
And you can see the respect for Trent Tucker, who was 5 for 8 from the floor Wednesday night. Johnson giving him nothing. Offensive foul.
Louis Orr fighting Tolbert for the position. Tolbert had Louis Orr around the waist, but Louis threw an elbow. That is the call that Earl Strom made, so it was an offensive foul against Louis Orr.
Pistons by 5, 35 seconds left, first quarter. Johnson loose. And the foul on Orr.
Thomas has done a tremendous job against the pressure defense. That time the Knicks tried to go into half-court pressure, trying to double team, and Thomas was able to split the double teaming situation, made the long pass over to Benny Johnson. He was fouled by Louis Orr. That's his third. He has to leave. Robinson comes back as Hollins comes in for Thomas.
So the Knicks have Robinson up front with Webster and Grunfeld, Walker and Tucker at the guards. Benny Johnson, who already has 6 points. Now 3 for 3 from the foul line. And the Pistons match their biggest lead, 6-point margin. 25 seconds left in the first quarter. Benny Johnson in his 5th season out of Baylor, out of Brooklyn, New York. And the biggest lead of the game now, Pistons by 7, 36-29.
Knicks are going for the last shot of the quarter.
Ten seconds Walker watched by Hollins. Gilby Brown stamping his foot saying, make the play. Tucker does. Trent Tucker able to hit. Trent Tucker from deep in the corner. So that's the end of the first quarter. That was a 2-point field goal. The Knicks trailing 36-31. Back at Joe Louis Arena, downtown Detroit, alongside Cobo Hall, the former playing side of the Detroit Pistons for many, many years, after moving the franchise from Fort Wayne. And now it is back downtown. The Pistons have played only one basketball game here, and that was an exhibition against the Los Angeles Lakers back in '81. There have been a couple of informal all-star games here at Joe Louis, but that's been it. Hasn't bothered the Pistons. In the first quarter, they lead at 36-31 as we get underway in the second. Darrell Walker matched with Isaiah Thomas. Bernard King is back in as Walker fires. So Darrell Walker hitting on his first field goal, and the Detroit lead is 3.
Darrell Walker trying to get the ball down to King. The defense backed off. Walker hit the little 18-foot jumper. That will definitely open up things for Bernard King.
Sheridan from Thomas, and the block by King.
The Knicks are trying to double team every opportunity they get in the half-court offense. That time Bernard King rotating, blocked the shot from behind. Detroit gets the ball back.
4 on the shot clock. Bill Cartwright back on the floor, able to rebound. And an unusual mix for the Knicks here with Robinson, Cartwright, and King up front, and a backcourt of Tucker and Walker. It is Sheridan guarding King now. 8 on the 24. Traveling violation.
Well, Bill should have been a little more patient that time. He had Tolbert on him, and he was thinking going to the hoop as Isaiah Thomas dropped back to help out. But if he had kicked the ball back much sooner, it would have been better off.
Interesting move by Thomas around Walker. Here's Lane Beer, who just checked back.
Well, Lane Beer set a back pick on Walker. That's the reason why it was interesting.
And Cartwright held by Thomas.
Smart basketball by Isaiah Thomas because Bill Cartwright was getting ready to dunk the ball then, and Thomas grabbed Cartwright around the waist, preventing him from getting the ball up, forcing Bill to get the points at the free throw line.
Isaiah Thomas was asked at practice about tonight's game. He says, well, it should be a terrific ball game. I wish I could watch it.
You mean as much money as he makes, he doesn't have a videotape machine at home?
Well, he'd like to see it when it happens.
Oh, okay.
He's involved.
Thanks, Marv, for explaining it.
Knicks down by 2. Cartwright looking for a 6th point. (36-35), a 1-point Piston lead. So the Knicks have opened up with 4 straight points in the second quarter. Tripucka fouled by Cartwright, and that's his 3rd.
Well, that time Kelly Tripucka coming off the double screen. He faked the jump shot, got Bernard King up in the air as Cartwright tried to rotate on the defense. He fouled Kelly Tripucka, his 3rd foul. That means Marvin Webster has to come back into the game as you see the fake by Tripucka and the foul by Cartwright as he jumped out. Kelly shoots 2 free throws.
It's 2 for 2 from the line. Now has 9 points.
On that particular play, Marv, if Bernard had come a little harder trying to get over the pick, maybe it wouldn't have forced Cartwright to jump out on the play, and he could possibly still be in the game. But that's hindsight.
Cartwright sitting down after picking up his 3rd. Pistons by 3, 38-35. King over Sheridan. And again, Sheridan forced him out. Knicks get the new 24. Bernard King is 4 for 10 from the floor. Robinson. Rebound Webster. Nice play by Marvin Webster.
For the first time, the New York Knicks took advantage of the matchup as Isaiah Thomas ends up with the turnover. What the Knicks did that time, they took advantage of the matchup with Tripucka guarding Robinson. and the Knicks ended up with the score.
Pressure defense by Walker, causing the travel by Thomas. Again, it's Curran. Matched defensively on King. One-on-one move by Bernard. And that time, no question.
Well, Bernard just told everybody to clear out the left side. He put the ball between his legs and hit the little baseline jumper.
Knicks by 1, 39-38, and King has 16. John Long, who just checked back, being guarded by Trent Tucker. Here's Long. Rebound Walker. Darrell saw the opening, and then it was closed.
And they're going to truck Robinson again with the matchup as Curran just picked up the foul against Bernard King.
So Earl Curran picking up his first. And for the Pistons, their second team foul. 2.5 gone by, second quarter. Marv Albert with Butch Beard from Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Pistons have led by as many as 7. Thomas on the steal. And that time Walker with the push preventing the layup.
Well, that time Isaiah Thomas did a super job of jumping into the passing lane, anticipating the pass to come back to Walker. But if the Knicks are going to try to post up Truck Robinson against Kelly Tripucka, here you see Isaiah making the defensive play. Now, he made the defensive play with the left hand, so therefore he would not create contact. There you see the foul by Walker as Isaiah Thomas will go to the line.
And Isaiah, 73% free throw shooter. That's his third point.
But what I want to get back to, Marv, if they want to post up a player and clear out the side, the Knicks guards must get a better passing angle. They are not getting good passing angles at all.
Tied at 39. And now King down low working on Benson. They double up on Tucker. Not giving Trent any room. Here's Webster. Yes. And the Knicks are getting unexpected play from Marvin Webster, particularly coming off a poor effort back on Wednesday at the Garden.
But that was a good time to get the ball down to Webster. They had a better passing angle so Webster could do something offensively.
Here's Tripucka, and we're tied at 41.
Kelly Tripucka has had an excellent series, and he just popped out that time, received the ball 15 feet from the hoop, hit the jumper.
Kelly has 12 points. 8.5 left, first half. Fifth and final game between the Knicks and the Pistons. Tripucka stepping in the passing lane. And King broke it up.
Kelly Tripucka playing both ends of the court that time, making the super defensive play, starting the fast break by putting the ball behind his back. The Knicks knock the ball away. Detroit retains it.
Lane Beer off the screen.
You have to see Hubie Brown. He has his coat off now because it really is hot in here. He reminds me a little bit of Jerry Tarkanian. Only if he puts a towel in his mouth, then I'll know.
This is Long. His second field goal has 8, and the Pistons lead it 43-41.
Detroit forced up a perimeter shot that time by Walker. It got them into their transition game. As you see Walker just coming up with the charging foul against Thomas.
And Rory Sparrow comes on, replacing Darrell Walker.
You don't think Hubie's not in the game?
And ready for the warm weather with the
short sleeve shirt. Must have read the weather report before he came.
Embarrassing the way you cut your long sleeve shirts for the summer, you know. Here's Benson, not able to hit. And Earl Strom says stay right here. It's against the Knicks.
Bernard King fouling Bill Laimbeer as he had gotten a good position on the Kent Benson running hook shot. Laimbeer, he rebounds on position alone. He takes up a lot of space, and that time he had the good position and was fouled.
So Ray Williams back, replacing Trent Tucker. Trent with a bucket for 2. Intended for Lambier. Thought he was cutting. Knicks trail by 2, 43-41. 5 minutes gone by. Second quarter. King, yes. 18 for Bernard, and we're tied at 43.
Normally Bernard King gets the ball down low and scored. That time he popped out 15 feet and scored.
And Darryl Garrison says score the goal. A goaltender goal on that block by Webster.
That's an interesting call because here you see Lambier going up for the shot. Webster blocked it there. Blocked it again. They called goaltending. I did not see it, but Bill Lambier taking up a lot of space on the offensive boards.
Watch it up, watch it up.
King committed himself. Sparrow able to rescue, and the steal by Tripucka. So the Pistons lead it 47-43. And a timeout called by the Knicks. 6:23 remaining, first half. The Pistons by 4. We'll be right back. All right, Hubie Brown has just talked things over during the course of that Knick timeout. The Knicks now go with Bernard King, Marvin Webster, Truck Robinson up front, Ray Williams and Rory Sparrow in the backcourt. At halftime, a close-up look at the Knicks' second unit. 6:15 remaining in this first half. Here's Robinson. Nice move by Truck, his first field goal, and the Pistons lead at 47-45.
Marv, I think that's smart basketball, getting Truck Robinson involved, especially if Kelly Tripucka is going to guard him defensively.
Sparrow helping out, coming up with the steal. Here's Sparrow. Rebound to Webster. And Marvin has been a factor offensively. He has 8 points in this first half. We're tied at 47.
Marvin Webster doing an excellent job going to the offensive boards then, putting the ball back up and scoring.
Here's Lambier. He was loose. 8 points for Lambier. Pistons by 2, 49-47.
Marv, that shouldn't be a problem for the Knicks. They should let Webster take the big guy who stays up underneath and let the forward pop out with the guy who pops out in that stack.
There's Truck going glass, no touch. Long open. So the Pistons by 4, 51-47.
John Long is an excellent shooter, especially when he can get his feet up under him. That time he did, and he scored.
Long has 10, and he is a streak shooter. Sparrow for Webster.
Boy, Rory Sparrow made a super penetrating move then and kicking the ball off to Webster when Lambier came over to help out defensively.
So the Pistons by 2, 4:25 left, first half. Tripucka rejected by Webster. Williams with Thomas back. And the foul on Thomas for Isaiah, his second.
Great defensive basketball by Marvin Webster, blocking Kelly Tripucka's layup attempt, getting the Knicks into their transition game. It looked like Isaiah Thomas had made a good defensive play. Here you see Webster coming over, blocking the layup attempt. Good defense by New York, getting them into their transition game as the ball is kicked up here to Ray. Ray goes up. There's the foul, says Darryl Garrison. Somewhere in there.
All right, and Ray Williams, by virtue of that call, will shoot a couple. Ray now 1 for 2 from the line. Isaiah Thomas sitting down. He has 8 assists and 3 points. 2-point Detroit lead. Vinnie Johnson is back in the backcourt with John Long. Terry Tyler has come on for the first time up front with Lambier and Benson. Long looking, couldn't find the shot. This is Tyler on the fake. And And he drew the foul.
Hubie Brown is trying to get a walk call against Terry Tyler. That time, Bernard King lost concentration on the weak side as Terry made his move from weak side to strong side, received the ball, went up for the shot, and he was fouled by Bernard King as Tyler shoots two.
All right, Tyler, 71% free throw shooter. King committing his second. Foul situation on the Knicks. Cartwright and Orr each have three. And two apiece on King, Robinson, and Walker. For the Pistons, two apiece on Benson, Long, Thomas, and Livingston. Pistons by 3. King on the spin. Yes, he has 20. And the Knicks are down by 1.
I can't believe that Kent Benson stands behind him, especially when he goes down low. He's much too quick for Kent, and King just showed it, the reason why.
3.5 left, first half. Benson, Sparrow off the boards, has King on the wing, putting the move around Tyler. Tyler comes away with it. Bernard King now 7 for 14 from the floor. Tyler, Poston, and a foul.
Detroit trying to take advantage of Terry Tyler's inside game. That time Tyler sent a little back pick on Lane Beer. Lane Beer popped out. Then he went down and posted low as he got the good position on King. Webster came back to try to help out. He picked up the foul. Bernard is going to have to fight Tyler a little bit harder on the defensive end for position.
And off the three-point play by Tyler, Pistons lead it by 4, 55-51. And a battle. Well, they say illegal defense.
It was on Terry Tyler, who was going to help out Earl Curitan, who has switched over to Bernard King defensively. So Bernard King has seen 5 different looks already here in this game. And we're only in the first half.
And I would think the one he does not appreciate from a physical point of view is the one that is taking place right now. Earl Curitan and Bernard King hammering each other as that illegal defense was called. Here's King getting in on Curitan. Nice move. He has 22 points, and the Knicks trail 55-53.
You give King credit, but you have to give the passer credit in that situation. Super lob pass so King could score.
Long forcing, but hit it. 12 for Long. Major factor in this first half.
He really has been. He's been doing a good job of moving without the ball, so therefore he can get in position to get the good shot.
Ray Williams, yes and no, and it does not count. Williams called for the offensive foul. So the ball goes to Detroit. Ray is hit with his second foul and a timeout with 2:26 remaining first half. Pistons lead it by 4.
We're going to see Bernard King posting down low against Earl Curitan. Ray Williams making a super lob pass to King. Now King is on his way to the hoop. He scores against Earl Curitan. Bernard King is amazing down low.
And he now has 22 points in all. He is 8 for 15 from the floor. It's Piston ball as we resume, and they lead at 57-53, 2:20 left, first half.
Excuse me, Marv. If Bernard King scores 29 points tonight, he will break a 5-game NBA playoff series scoring-wise, and it looks like he's well on his way.
Pushing foul on King, so that's his third, and the crowd responds because King will sit down. Louis Orr, who has 3, will replace him.
Well, Detroit has played pretty smart basketball here in the 5th game against Bernard King, simply because whoever he's guarding on the offensive end, they have looked to him. In this case, it has been Terry Tyler the last 3 times down the floor, and Terry has either scored and he has gotten fouled. He missed the first of 2. He will try again.
See the way he whipped the ball in anger at Earl Strom?
Got to take it out on somebody.
Way off. Knicks now have Sparrow and Williams in the backcourt, or Robinson, Webster up front. The Knicks getting production from an unlikely source. 10 points for Webster. Here's Ray Williams, and Webster keeps it alive. The Knicks 10 for 17 from the floor in the second quarter. They have shot well. And at 45 remaining in the quarter. And off the turnover, here are the Pistons moving back. Vinnie Johnson. Jordan is fouled.
They call a
tie-up.
They call a block shot by Earl Jordan, who had worked the offensive boards. The Knicks were fortunate that Vinnie Johnson did not score because nobody picked him up. Here you see Johnson missing the shot after Webster comes over defensively. Curitan working the offensive boards. He goes back up. Marvin Webster makes the block right there.
Detroit bench not thrilled with that call. Johnson. Robinson on the good box out, and it was knocked out of bounds by Livingston of Detroit. Gilby Brown upset with Truck Robinson, who has had the old hand problem, not catching the basketball. Ray Williams, yes, off the dribble drive. Williams bringing the Knicks within two, 57-55.
That time Ray used good judgment and patience before he put the shot up and scored.
Down to a minute left, first half. Here's Tyler. And the foul.
Marv, the presence of the two guards that are in the game right now, Vinnie Johnson and John Long, they both love to go to the offensive boards. That time, Long was not blocked out. Here you see the shot by Tyler. You see Long coming into your picture. Nobody blocked him out. It forces Truck Robinson to go over his back. The Knick guards have to concentrate on the two Piston guards who are in the game right now and block them out.
Robinson committing his third. John Long 5 for 5 from the line. He has 13 points. Kelly Tripucka leading Detroit with 14. Bernard King, who picked up his third foul a moment ago, sitting down with 22.
And that's a foul that Truck Robinson picks up simply because the Knick guards did not do their job. Robinson was doing his, but the Knick guards did not do theirs.
Knicks down by 4, 59-55. Here is Orr. Yes, and Tyler had a piece of it.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but the job was done that time as Ray lost handle on the dribble, got it over to Orr, and Orr hit the shot.
Pistons by 2. Long comes to Curitan. Tyler. We're down to 15 seconds remaining. First half, Pistons lead it 61-57. The Knicks bench counting it out. Down to 5 seconds. Here's Ray Williams on the penetration, able to hit. 1 second, that'll do it. Good first half. Well, we're getting set for the third quarter here at Joe Louis Arena. The New York Knicks, led by Bernard King, with 22 points on 8 for 15 from the floor and 6 for 6 from the foul line. Ray Williams was 5 for 11. As we mentioned, Marvin Webster 4 for 4. Knicks 51% in the first half, while Detroit with 14 apiece for Tripucka and Long. Kelly Tripucka 5 for 9, and John Long was 4 for 6 from the field, 6 for 6 from the foul line. Detroit shot only 44% in the first half, and the Knicks out-rebounded the Pistons 29-21.
Yes, this is true, but the reason why Detroit the reason why they have the lead, and you see the rest of the stats there, and the Knicks with 14 and Detroit with only 6. Detroit was 17 for 21 at the free throw line.
So turnovers have really hurt the Knicks in this first half. Third quarter just underway. Isaiah Thomas followed across by Rory Sparrow. King playing with the 3. Here's Lane Beer. 63-59. Pistons by 4.
Bill Laimbeer popping out about 15 feet from the hoop, squaring up, hitting the jumper. He's one of the better shooting big men, especially if he can pop out like that.
Here's Williams. Laimbeer. And Thomas leads it down. Isaiah switching hands on the dribble, but then threw the wild shot. Sparrow. Yes. And the foul.
Boy, that time Thomas came back and really made a bad judgment play when he fouled Rory Sparrow when Sparrow took the jumper. Here you see Sparrow now squaring up, shooting the jumper. There you see Thomas hitting him across the hand. Possibility of a three-point play to bring the Knicks within 1 point.
And Rory hitting on his first field goal after missing 3 from the floor. So the Knicks now trail by 1, 63-62.
Thomas hasn't been a factor as far as scoring is concerned, but he's done a good job of dishing the ball off, coming up with 9 assists in the first half.
Thomas now has 3 fouls, 8 on the shot clock. Long, wide open. Rebound, Cartwright. Robinson. And a strong power move by Robinson. His second field goal. Both have come in that manner. Truck also getting back on Benson. Pistons again by 1, 65-64.
Although the Knicks scored on Robinson's good move into the paint that time, they rushed the ball up the floor. The Pistons got the 2 points back the easy way.
Bernard King, yes, 24 for King. Ray Williams getting back to break it up. King picked up by Thomas, dishing off to Cartwright. Beautiful combination, and the Knicks now lead by 3.
And that was done off the good defense of Ray Williams, getting the ball to King. King over to Cartwright for the 2 points. So the defense paid off for the Knicks on that play.
Here's Tripucka. And the Knicks lead is 1, 68-67. Pistons have led most of the way. They've led by as many as 7.
Kelly Tripucka, although 6'5", loves to play down low, and that time he got the good position on King and used the little bank shot to score.
Here's Williams. And last touch by Detroit.
And Marv, that's a good sign, because with Tripucka on Truck Robinson, it frees Robinson up to get to the hoop. That time Robinson battled Tripucka for the ball, and the ball went off Tripucka. The Knicks get it out of bounds.
Another gorgeous move by King, who has 26. And the Knicks by 3, 70-67. And a reach-in.
Well, that time Bernard King got back against Kelly Tripucka. He was standing straight up on the defensive end. Kelly made his move. King picked up his 4th foul. That has been the only thing to stop Bernard King against the Detroit Pistons. And tonight it has been foul problems.
And the crowd responding as they saw Bernard depart, replaced by Louis Orr. Knicks lead it by 3.
Wouldn't you? Because people in Detroit would like to give Bernard King a saliva test.
All right, Tripucka. Basket doesn't count.
Called an offensive foul on Kelly Tripucka. He had the good position on Louis Orr. The Knicks were fortunate that the offensive foul was called on Kelly. Here you see it. There you see the little bump by Kelly. That's where the offensive foul was. Louis Orr must fight in for that position, though.
And for Kelly Tripucka, his first personal foul. Robinson had it stripped. And Thomas bumped on the pass, so it's a non-shooting foul. Ray Williams committing his 3rd.
And the Knicks were really lucky that time. Thomas was thinking pass instead of shot when he heard the whistle. Detroit gets the ball out of bounds.
Tripucka looking for the quick pop. Good play by Orr to knock it away. Tripucka felt he was fouled. Here's Orr getting back, and Thomas stepped aside. Did not want to pick up his 4th. Knicks have their biggest lead, and Detroit calls for a 20-second timeout. It's a 20-second timeout.
Well,
the Pistons will talk about it.
Well, that time Kelly Tripucka should have been getting back defensively when Louis Orr made the block. He was standing around debating the play. Louis Orr released, received the long pass, and scored. And Thomas did not want to pick up the foul, so therefore the Knicks ended up with a good defensive play by Orr and also the basket by Louis Orr.
So the foul situation not in favor of the Knicks at this point, with 4 on King and 3 apiece on Robinson, Cartwright, Williams, and Orr. Thomas with 3. Here's Tripucka, too deep. Cartwright gets to it. Thomas on the recovery and pops. 72-69. Knicks by 3.
That was Isaiah's second field goal in the game off of the mishandled, the third field goal, excuse me, off of the mishandled rebound of Cartwright then.
Oh, the contact.
I think he was fouled.
Yes, between Sparrow and Benson.
And Lane Beer and the board and everybody. Here you see Sparrow on his way to the hoop. Here comes Lane Beer. Here goes Sparrow. There's Benson. Take your pick.
Oh, I felt that one, Butch.
I did.
No empathy since your retirement. Benson picks up his 3rd, and the Knicks lead it by 4. Rory is 2 for 2 from the line. He had 8 assists in the first half. 73-69. Knicks with the lead. Thomas all the way.
That's where he's so tough, especially when he's coming at you. There wasn't much Sparrow could do that time as Isaiah went to his right, and then he arced the ball over the big people for a fast break basket.
Nick lead is 2. And a holding foul on Tripucka. Orr was looking to cut down low, looking to go baseline, and was held.
Orr did a good job that time. What he was doing, as we see Thomas on the move in the open court, cutting to the hoop, the running hook shot over Cartwright, 2 points. He's only 6 feet tall.
Nice pass from Williams. And the Knicks working very well. Cartwright with 10. Knicks lead 75-71. Here is Thomas. Knicks going to the boards aggressively. Louis Orr putting the move on Thomas. And let's see what the call is. It's on Isaiah. That's number 4.
And it's the right call. Earl Strom made the right call. It wasn't a popular call here in Detroit. As Detroit just calls a timeout, you're looking at Chuck Daly. He could not believe that call. Ray Williams, who has had an excellent game tonight, is going to drive the baseline against the Detroit Pistons. He kicks the ball off the field. Cartwright. Ray has been trying to take advantage of the matchup with he and Isaiah Thomas. Just after that play, Isaiah picked up his 4th foul, so he will probably leave the game. And that is a break for the New York Knicks. Now, they must not lose concentration because Vinnie Johnson, who is coming in for Thomas, will present another problem, a different problem, that is, on the offensive end for the Knicks guards.
Chuck Daly now going with Vinnie Johnson and John Long in the backcourt. And Louis Orr shooting 2. First appearances on the line. Louis has 3 field goals, 6 points. Over the first 2 games, he had a shooting difficulty. 1 for 9 over those first 2, but he has bounced back. 5 for 7, game 3. And in a significant role tonight after Bernard King picked up foul number 4.
Well, he did a good job even in the first quarter when Truck Robinson picked up 2 quick fouls. So Louis Orr has played a major part in the 6-point lead for the New York Knicks.
And it's the biggest lead of the night for the Knicks. 6:40 left, 3rd quarter. Sparrow watching Johnson. Shot clock down to 9. Livingston back on the floor. Lane Beer. Knicks going to the boards very well in this 3rd quarter. And the guards helping out. There's Truck. Rebound Livingston. Johnson on a spin. 77-73, the Knicks by 4.
The Knicks got back defensively, but Sparrow had to help out one of the big guys, and when Johnson received the ball, Johnson continued to the hoop and scored that time.
Sparrow, nice move. And Johnson starts back. Off the scramble. Ray Williams drew the foul. Tripucka picking up his third.
Good defense by the Knicks, forcing the turnover that time. Sparrow coming from behind, forcing Johnson to make the little spin move. He lost control. Then it looked like the Knicks were going on the break. Johnson got on the floor. Looked like he had come up with the ball, but Sparrow picked it up. Got it right here over to Ray Williams, and he is fouled by Kelly Tripucka.
And back live, Ray Williams having his difficulties at the line. Missed the first. He's now 1 for 4 from the line. Usually a good foul shooter at 83%. So the Knicks by 5, 78-73. Pistons led by 2 at halftime. They led by as many as 7 on several occasions in the first half. Here's Long. Rebound to Robinson. The lane closed, so Sparrow gives to Orr. Louis Orr called for the offensive foul. It's a charge, and that's number 4 on Orr.
Well, Orr would have been better off backing it up and the Knicks running a play. Here you see him starting to go to the hoop, and Lane Beer jumps out, gets the good position, gets the charging foul on Louis Orr. Good defense by the Detroit Pistons.
Lane Beer. Look out.
Ray Williams just threw Cliff Levingston to the floor. He helped him up. Truck Robinson picked up the foul as he was rotating that time on the defense. Bill Lane Beer will go to the free throw line. He's an 86% free throw shooter. One of the best shooting big men in the game today.
Truck Robinson collecting number 4. So 4 apiece on Robinson, King, and Orr. 3 apiece on Williams, Cartwright. And that's it. The Detroit foul situation. Isaiah Thomas sitting down. He has 4, as you see Marvin Webster. And he is coming on to replace Truck Robinson. So one of the few times this season that we see the combination of the Twin Towers, Cartwright and Webster, a combination that Hubie Brown does not like to use.
Well, he doesn't like to use it, but right now he's letting everything go. He is playing the people that are playing the best basketball tonight, so therefore you just take out everything that you do during the total season and go with what you have.
Knicks by 3. Cartwright over Lane Beer. Yes.
Tough shot by Bill Cartwright. The angle on that pass is tough, but Cartwright was able to convert with the turnaround jumper.
12 for Cartwright. Knicks by 5, 80-75. Bad pass. Sparrow dribbling through the pack and beating Lane Beer, but missing. And a foul. It's called on Orr.
Louis Orr was pleading. He said he didn't touch him. As he picked up his 5th foul, Ernie Grunfeld comes in for him. Louis Orr leaves. Knicks missing a golden opportunity right here as Rory Sparrow had to double clutch to get the ball up. Lane Beer again making a good defensive play, and the foul was called on Orr.
So Grunfeld has replaced Orr. Tripucka hitting on foul by Grunfeld.
Kelly Tripucka taking advantage of actually a cold Ernie Grunfeld. He receives the ball, shoots a little turnaround jumper. He loves to use the glass. He's very effective. That time he scored a 3-point play with the basket and the free throw.
80-78. The Knicks by 2. Crowd back into it. We're down to 4:10 left. Third quarter. Ray Williams putting it up with the left hand. Webster recaptures.
Good job by Marvin Webster as the Knicks are now trying to play two-man basketball, trying to clear the side out for Bill Cartwright and the guard.
And forced to do it without Bernard King sitting down with the 4. Now the Pistons on a 3-on-2. Long for Trapuka.
And he just charged. Ernie Grunfeld sacrificing his body because that time the Pistons had a 3-0-1 advantage. John Long got up in the air and made the pass. Ernie standing there defensively picking up the charging foul. Here you see the penetration by Long. There you see the pass. Long would have been better off shooting in that situation. Instead, he picks up the charge.
Third foul for Long. And Earl Strom calling a foul on Detroit. It has been a whistle-happy third quarter. Lane Beer picking it up. His second. The Pistons are over the limit, as are the Knicks. So Cartwright, who is 2 for 2 from the line, will shoot a couple.
Well, the third quarter, if both ball clubs continue to go down inside and pick up fouls, will end up being a free throw shooting contest. So free throws at this stage will become very important later on down the line.
13 for Cartwright. 7 of the 13 here in the third. And the Knicks by 4, 82-78. Sparrow pressing Johnson. Trapuka, let's see, they call it the other way.
Yes, they called offensive foul on Kelly Trapuka. Earl Strom called it. Kelly, he does create a lot of contact. That time Earl Strom called it. Kelly can't believe it.
Well, Darryl Garretson
was going to call it on Ernie.
In the process of calling it on Grunfeld, and Strom said, no, I have better position.
Well, let's see. Here's Kelly making his move. Ernie is there. It was an offensive foul because Kelly Trapuka jumped into Ernie Grunfeld.
Big call and back live. Ernie Grunfeld drilling one and hitting from 20 feet away, left side, 84-78. The Knicks lead it by 6, just under 3 left, third quarter. Here's Johnson over Walker. He forced it. And Webster on the rebound. Williams took a poke in the eye as the Knicks go to the offense. It's now Walker and Williams in the backcourt. Grunfeld up front, Cartwright and Webster on that front line. We're down to 6 on the shot clock. The Knicks will have to force. Ray Williams popping. Pistons down by 6. Long being played tight by Williams. Here's Curidan. Aggressive move by Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright really wanted that ball then as he ripped the ball away from Lane Beer and a couple of Detroit Pistons players, and the Knicks almost ended up with a 10-second violation. There's a timeout call. This is an official timeout because the ball was wet. I think they're going to change balls. Instead, Earl Strom saying there's no timeout. Chuck Daly's taking advantage of it. He has his troops huddled up there.
Now Hubie Brown.
Hubie's talking to Bob Wolf, who is doing the radio.
Put him on the air, Bob.
Why not? They're having some kind of conversation as play continues.
Apparently, John Andres had a tip for Hubie.
Are you kidding me?
Beautiful pass from Williams, and Cartwright was fouled. Well, key people in foul difficulty. Bernard King has sat it out most of this third quarter. Isaiah Thomas picked up his 4th early in the third, but not that the Knicks would not like to see Bernard on the floor, and he has had a phenomenal series, but as it turns out, the Knicks got everybody into the ball game with Bernard sitting down. Better ball distribution. They're getting efforts from a lot of people here, and it's helped turn things around.
It really has, but there is also another plus on with that, simply because you have actually a fresh Bernard King in the 4th quarter, and he is a big gamer, so if they need a shot down the stretch, Bernard will be fresh. And again, things are going right for the Knicks here in the third quarter.
But much time left. And at 50 remaining third quarter. Cartwright is now 5 for 5 from the line. He has 15 points, and Bill has come up strong. Despite opening up in foul trouble. So the Knicks lead at 85-78. It's their biggest lead. Kent Benson is back in, up front. Curidan and Tyler. Johnson and Long at the guards. Tripucka sitting down after picking up his fourth. There's Tyler off a double team. 3 on the shot clock. Look out. And Kent Benson just landed on our lap. And I saw it coming.
I heard you say, look out.
I say, look out.
And that's the first time you used your head and you moved.
I left.
Normally you stay around, you know something. Big guys do not know how to stop. And now Hubie's over here talking to the people on reporters row.
No problem.
Daryl Garrison told me I sacrificed my body.
Yeah.
And Marv, how come you didn't stop him? Why did you say look out?
No. I also
your mother
have a very
very
nicely flavored shirt of soda.
That's okay. Hey, they just messed up my stats. This is terrible. You know, no regard for the people on the sideline. I can't believe it.
Hubie rooting for Benson to land in the lap of several New York writers. We're fine. Come on, Butch. Straighten things out here.
Thank you, Daryl. Daryl Garrison is trying to get some airtime. Well, play will continue regardless of what happens to play-by-play men and color commentators.
Back to the game. Knicks lead at 85-78. A minute 25 remaining in this third quarter. Good effort, incidentally, by Kent Benson, who could not put the brakes on. The steal by Curidan.
Curidan made a good defensive play simply because the offensive man in that case could not feel where he was on the defensive end.
And Walker reaching in, and a foul call. Let's see, Strom.
They call it on Ernie Grunfeld on the weak side. They did not call it on Walker. And Ernie said, who, me? I didn't do anything. So Terry Tyler will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws.
Tyler is only 2 out of 5 from the line.
Well, this gives you a new perspective on the game, doesn't it, Marv? I'm telling you, those big guys coming at you, now you know what I went through all those years.
But notice the anticipation. I was backpedaling as I saw Benson. You sit there like a fool.
No,
I
was holding you there so you could take the charge.
85-79. Knicks by 6. A minute left, third quarter. Trent Tucker. Rebound, Curidan. Johnson looking it over. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Tyler.
Tough shot by Terry Tyler. Good defensive play by Bill Cartwright as the Knicks slow the tempo down again, and they will probably go for the last shot here with 23 seconds left in the game and 12 and counting on the shot clock.
Down to 15 seconds. 3 on the shot clock. Grunfeld firing. And a loose ball foul on Webster.
Although the shot clock was running down, the Knicks ended up with a good shot from Ernie Grunfeld off of a nice penetration by Trent Tucker. Here you see Ernie putting the shot up. Now you watch Curidan go for the defensive rebound, and Marvin Webster comes up with the foul right there, putting Earl Curidan at the free throw line, who is shooting 52% for the season.
Well, Earl the Twirl not noted for his work at the foul line. Has a field goal for 2 thus far.
To be honest with you, the Knicks have really dodged the bullet here in the last minute and a half, simply because Detroit hasn't been able to hit their free throws.
Down to 5 seconds. Walker. 3 seconds, taking all the way, try to feed off, and it cost. So 3 quarters complete. 4th quarter underway. The crowd here at Joe Louis Arena providing a standing ovation for the Pistons. Webster altered that shot. Benson on the recovery. Johnson off the pump. 85-81. The Knicks by 4. So there's 83-84 season for the Pistons, and the Knicks has come down to this. The final 12 minutes of this 5th and final game. King, who just returned, out over the head. Robinson off the board, getting it out. Tucker. Webster keeps it alive. You mentioned the Pistons having their problems, particularly down the stretch in the 3rd quarter. They scored only 1 point in the last 2.5 minutes of the quarter. King, yes, and it counts.
That time Bernard King did use his left hand, and he also hurt his finger. He got the good position on Kent Benson, received the pass, went to the hoop, was fouled by Bill Langbeer. Here you see King getting the position on his way to the hoop, switches hands, puts it up left-handed. He is hammered right there by Langbeer as we see the finish of the replay, but that's not the important thing. The timeout, I think there's a timeout called by Detroit. 22nd timeout is called as Hubie Brown and Mike Saunders, the trainer, is looking Bernard King over, and Hubie is also getting in a little coaching along with Rick Pitino. Looked like a UN meeting, Marv.
So Bernard King, who continues to hammer those dislocated fingers on both hands, shaking it off as he has been doing the last month.
Boy, that had to hurt. There's no question about it, because his hand hit the board.
Johnson, change of direction on the shot, and he was fouled.
Oh, that's a tough foul on Trent Tucker, because Benny Johnson just made the play that time as he hung in the air. Tucker went up with him. Johnson scooped up underneath him using that good body balance of his and jumping ability, picked up the foul. Benny Johnson shoots 2 free throws as Bernard King has set a new record for a 5-game series.
Bernard,
what else is new?
28 points tonight. It's been a record-breaking playoff for Bernard King. Series of league records and Knicks playoff records. Knicks now lead it 87-83. Minute gone by, 4th quarter. Isaiah Thomas playing with the 4, as is Bernard King. Tucker. Sparrow keeping it alive.
And it was a real smart decision by Sparrow then, backing the ball up instead of putting up the quick shot.
Sparrow tried to go glass tonight. Johnson. Rebound King, and last touch by Benson.
Well, Bernard King really did a super job going after that ball. He went up, grabbed the rebound, and actually Hubie Brown thought he was fouled. So did I, as King was trying to get control of the ball. It went off for the Pistons. New York Knicks have it.
All right, Cartwright, Robinson, and King up front. Webster sitting down. Ray Williams has come on, joining Rory Sparrow in the backcourt. Nice pass from Cartwright. Sparrow missed the layup. Tripucka lost it. So a break for the Knicks.
Marv, this reminds me of game 1, where the 2 ball clubs went up and down the floor, and then the Knicks finally scored and they won. And in game 2, the same thing happened, and Detroit scored. So now both ball clubs are beginning to play tight because they know the situation of the game.
All right, Cartwright gets the roll, and Bill Cartwright has delivered. Big ball game tonight for Cartwright. He now has 17, and the Knicks are leading 89-83. Johnson. Benny Johnson has 16.
And the Knicks tried to double up defensively then. Detroit just passed the ball around, got it over to Johnson for the little 15-foot baseline jumper.
Ray Williams on a pull-up. And Beal gets it down. Sparrow back to break it up. And a foul is called. It's a blocking foul.
Well, that's a strange call because actually both players have the right to go after the ball. Here you see Sparrow. I don't know where the block is. It could have been out of bounds, if anything, but the foul was called on Rory Sparrow.
Back line. Benson. Well, he just did get blessed. 3 minutes gone by. Fourth quarter. The Knicks lead it 89-85. King bumped, and he'll go to the line to shoot a couple. Benson collecting his fourth foul.
Although the Knicks are getting that player that they're clearing out on the left side, and here you see Bernard King going to the hoop, and he's bumped right there, misses the shot. They still are not getting a good passing angle on that particular play. I would feel a little bit better if they would, come over and get a better angle for the pass. It's making it tough for the offensive player to get the bounce pass and then make his offensive move.
King has missed his last two and had trouble after hurting his finger before his previous foul shot. So he's struggling. He's missed 3 in a row.
Well, his fingers may be bothering him. There's no question about it. He keeps rubbing them, trying probably to get some filling back into them.
Tripucka. Tripucka again. 89-87. The Knicks lead is down to 2, and a timeout called by Hubie Brown. Marv Albert with Butch Beard. 8:14 remaining, fourth quarter. The Pistons had the dry spell. Final 2.5 of the third, and now the Knicks have not scored in the last minute and a half and have scored only 4 points thus far this fourth quarter. And the crowd right in it again. Knicks by 2, 89-87. Sparrow from deep. 3-point attack. Lane Beer on the rebound.
The Knicks trying to look down inside to Bernard King. The Pistons defense sloughed back, forcing Sparrow to put up the jumper. Right now the Knicks aren't moving on the offensive end.
Tripucka. And a rebound for Rory Sparrow. Ray Williams. Bad shot by Ray. So the Pistons take over. Here's Thomas and the foul.
Thomas coming against Rory Sparrow with a little turnaround move right here. He's fouled by Sparrow. Nice penetration by Thomas, putting Detroit up 90-89 with 7:25 to go with the made free throw.
Ray Williams around Isaiah Thomas. And rebounded by Kent Benson. Here's Tripucka. It is fast and furious, end to end, as we come down to the final 7 minutes.
Oh, I love it because it just boils down to execution, and whichever ball club in this state keeps their composure.
5 on the 24, and the foul on the Pistons.
Foul was on Benny Johnson as Ray started to the hoop that time. The Knicks are standing around far too much on the offensive end. They're not getting any movement, trying to look for Bernard, and that's just about it. They need to get themselves involved into the offense by moving their bodies.
Both teams have 3 fouls now. Either the Knicks are not looking for Bernard or can't find him at this point. Nice move by Cartwright and the foul against Detroit. Of course, you have to wonder about the shooting touch of Bernard King since he injured his finger.
Right.
And we saw he had difficulty from the foul line.
Cartwright with the little fake. Langbeer went for it. Thomas rotating, picking up his 5th personal foul. Bill Cartwright shoots 2 free throws.
Cartwright is 5 for 6 from the line. So 5 on Thomas and 4 on Trapuka, Benson, and Langbeer.
Well, the longer you stay there, the more the crowd gets to you. That time Cartwright was able to silence the crowd. As you saw the graphic, Thomas just drew his 5th personal foul.
Knicks by 1. That foul shot by Cartwright, the first Knick point the last 3 minutes. Now check that, we're tied at 90. And 6:20 remaining in this 4th quarter, and the Knicks will take over.
Langbeer trying to get the position on Cartwright. The pass was a little long and high. A turnover for Detroit as the Knicks come down, try to run some offense.
Cartwright fouled again.
Now this is smart basketball, excuse me, Marv, because they know, the Knicks know that Bernard King is struggling right now. They're going to Bill Cartwright, and he was fouled. As you see Cartwright getting to the position on Langbeer, he puts the shot up. He's hacked right there on the arm. Bill Cartwright shoots 2 free throws.
Benson tried to help out, but it was Langbeer on the foul, so that's 5 on Bill Langbeer. A friendly rim for Bill Cartwright. Earl Curidan replacing Bill Langbeer, who leaves with 12. And Curidan has been very difficult for the Knicks.
Yes, he has. He will present another problem for Cartwright on the defensive end because he will use his quickness, and Cartwright must know where he is, especially when he goes down to post low.
Knicks lead it by 2, 92-90. 6 minutes remaining in the game. Isaiah Thomas matched with Rory Sparrow. Isaiah has tied it at 92.
Well, when in doubt, you cannot get your offense working. Put up the 15-foot jumper. Thomas did, and he scored.
Cartwright that time surprised by the pass. Williams from 3-point range.
Big basket by New York. Ray Williams with ice in his veins put up the 3-pointer, putting the Knicks up by 3 as Hubie Brown had to set down.
So the Knicks with a 95-92 lead. Thomas through the air ball. Williams on the steal.
Again, New York controlling the tempo of the game by just walking the ball up, running their half-court offense, and Benson just fouled Bernard King on the move. That's 5 team fouls against the Detroit Pistons. Bernard King goes to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws.
And that is number 5 on Benson. 5 apiece on Benson, Langbeer, and Thomas. And Chuck Daly really has no choice in terms of Isaiah Thomas. Well, Bernard able to get back on track, and the Knicks now lead 96.
Well, he wouldn't
92.
take Thomas out at this stage of the game anyway.
He can't.
No, Thomas will stay.
We'll take him right out of the ball game. So King able to hit 2, and the Knicks open up a 5-point lead, 97-92. Detroit calls for time, 5:12 remaining in this 4th quarter. Well, the Knicks with a 97-92 lead with 5:12 remaining in the game, and the 5-point lead, despite the fact they have shot 3 for 18 from the floor in this 4th quarter. A big bucket, though, Ray Williams with that 3-point field goal, drilling it from the corner. Not what Hubie Brown had in mind, but he will take it. Well, Getty, maker of high-performance gasolines, wants to salute another star performance, and we'll have our selection of tonight's Getty MVP of the game a little bit later on.
Well, I think you should be considered because of the fact that you tried to pick up a charging foul earlier
Took the charge.
game.
No, I took it. Kent Benson pummeling his way here to the announcer's table. Butch in shock, not able to move.
The reflexes are gone.
Isaiah Thomas handling against Rory Sparrow. Now the switch. Ray Williams picks him up. Thomas. Oh, what a tip. Earl Curitan getting inside. 97-94. The Knicks lead is 3. There's King. Yes. Bernard King over Kent Benson.
That time Ray Williams got King the ball, especially when he was on the move. Bernard King tried to pick up the foul against Kelly Tripucka. He did a little acting. He threw the foul. He threw the elbow first, and Earl Strom saw it. So it's King's 5th foul as play continues.
Knicks with the 5-point lead. Down to 4:20 remaining. Benson didn't see the pass. 9 on the shot clock. King and Tripucka in a battle. Here's Tripucka. Rebound Williams. Ray continues to go to the boards effectively.
Well, the guards have helped out extremely well for the New York Knicks here in the second half, as New York has controlled most of the tempo in the second half.
Sparrow way off. Tripucka and a foul. Cartwright got a piece of it.
I think they called the foul on Ray Williams, who had rotated on the defense after Tripucka had gotten King up in the air. Here you see the pump fake. Tripucka on his way to the hoop. Ray Williams with the foul. Cartwright with the block. 2 for 1. They both hack Kelly. Kelly shoots 2 free throws. The foul was on Ray Williams.
So it is number 4 on Ray. Tripucka 5 for 5 from the line. .22 for Tripucka. 3:48 remaining in the game. And the Knicks lead is 3. 99-96. The winner here advances to face the Boston Celtics beginning Sunday. Game 1, Sunday afternoon at the Boston Garden. Ray Williams got caught in the air and a foul on John Long.
No, they said that Curitan had stepped out of bounds, so that is a big break for the New York Knicks because Ray was hung up with no place to go with the ball. Detroit made a super defensive play, but Strom said that Curitan had stepped on the line when he knocked the ball away from Ray. Big break.
And Sparrow throws in. 8 on the shot clock. Williams. Cartwright. And let's see how they call it. The basket counts. And a foul.
Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you right now, everything is going in the Knicks' favor. Ray Williams, who couldn't control the ball. Here you see him putting up the shot. It's long. Lane Beer mistimes his jump. And there you see Cartwright picking it up and scoring, and also picking up the foul. He's at the free throw line. Things are going okay for the New York Knicks at this stage.
And Bill Cartwright has come up with the playoff performance of his life. He is now 9 for 11 from the line, 23 points in all.
Now, excuse me, Marv. Sparrow is doing the right thing, but he shouldn't be up because he can very easily pick up an unnecessary foul with both ball clubs over the limit.
Knicks now lead it by 6, 102-96, 3:20 remaining. King diving for it, but he's called for a travel.
Bernard King, very intense. That time jumping out on the pick, knocking the ball away from Thomas. Then he went on the floor after it right here. Oh, excuse me. Thomas just lost control of the dribble. Bernard King comes up with it, but Earl Strom calls a walk as Earl came over to the reporters and explained what happened on that particular play. I'm glad he explained it to the reporters, as you see Chuck Daly calling the play.
What a good guy. Interpretation on the spot by Earl Strom. Down to 3:10 remaining in the game. And the Knicks by 6. This is Curidan. Getting in.
Lack of concentration that time marked by Bill Cartwright, letting Curidan get the baseline move and scoring. That was a big basket for the Detroit Pistons.
The Knicks by 4. 2:45 left. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Williams for Cartwright again. And the Knicks now lead at 104-98.
Ray Williams, that time on the great penetration, kicking it off to Bill Cartwright, putting the Knicks up by 6.
And Hubie Brown is a running commentary with some of the New York area reporters. Tripucka stopped, and Ray Williams committing the foul. For Ray, it's number 5, so Tripucka will go to the line.
Well, Earl Strom is not going to let Ray Williams overact on that particular play, take the call away from him. As you see Ray right here. Now, Kelly actually walked. No, he didn't. He kept his pivot foot. There was the foul. And when Ray was lying on the floor, Strom tried to throw the ball in his chest.
Yes.
Or is it laying? I'm not sure at this stage. I'm a little excited. You have to help me with my grammar, Mark.
Butch, we'll call you later. That was Tripucka's first miss from the line. Oh, he missed 2 big ones. So the Knicks maintain the 6-point lead. We're down to 2:15 remaining, 4th quarter. And the Knicks using the 24-second clock. Here's King over Curidan. Yes, 34 for King. And the Knicks now lead at 106-98. We're under 2 minutes remaining. Isaiah Thomas coming back. 106-100, a 6-point Knick lead.
Well, right now it's been Ray Williams who has been doing the job for the New York Knicks. And that time Isaiah Thomas pushed the ball up and got the quick basket as Detroit goes into pressure defense. Knicks called timeout before there was a violation, so with 1:45 to go, timeout is called.
Marv Albert with Butch Beard from the Joe Louis Arena. Better than 21,000 on hand. It is a record crowd here at Joe Louis, exceeding the previous record of 20 and change for a college hockey tournament. The Detroit Red Wings have drawn well here throughout the season. And now a standing ovation as this crowd looks to urge the Pistons on. The story for the Knicks in the second half. Bill Cartwright, 19 points, 19 of his 25 in the second half. And he has hit 8 of 10 from the floor. Ray Williams has come up strong, delivering the ball, hit that big 3-point field goal. And Bernard King combining with Cartwright for 31 of the Knicks' 47 second half points. 10 on the shot clock. Now to 1:40 remaining, 4th quarter. The Knicks nursing a 6-point lead. 3 on the 24. Williams, yes!
Tough shot that time over John Long. Long playing good defense. Ray Williams hitting the pressure jumper.
Knicks by 8. Here's Thomas. And the foul! Sparrow called on the foul. It's kind of a soft foul by Rory, but he picks it up for his 4th, so Thomas to the line looking for a 3-point play.
Thomas working his way back. You saw Sparrow put his hands up in between Thomas as he hit the jumper. He has a chance for a 3-point play with this free throw.
All right, 19 for Isaiah, who just got picked off by Robinson as he nearly stole it off the collision with Truck. 108-103. Knicks by 5. We're down to 1:20 left in the 4th quarter. The steal by Thomas, and let's see.
Loose ball foul on Rory Sparrow. The Knicks that time getting the ball over in the Coffin corner. Thomas using his quick hands, knocking the ball away from Sparrow. Then Sparrow trying to regain control. Fouled Thomas. New York didn't need this because it stops the clock. It puts Thomas at the free throw line. He has a chance to hit 2 free throws to bring the Detroit Pistons to within 3.
Isaiah, 73% foul shooter. 3 out of 4 from the line. Here's Louis Orr replacing Truck Robinson. It is down to a 4-point lead. So the Pistons battling back. A minute 16 remaining, 4th quarter. Enormous foul shots by Isaiah Thomas. Under pressure. They trap Sparrow. Caught right back to help. The Knicks get it down. Williams for King. And here is Bernard. Rebound Lane Beer.
But they call a foul, I think, on John Long, as they call it on Errol Curitan, as Bernard King put up the shot. So that means that King will go to the free throw line. He will shoot 2 free throws as the beat continues at the free throw line for both ball clubs.
And Bernard is 8 for 11 from the line. He missed the 3 in a row after he hurt his finger. 34 points for King, getting the treatment. And the Knicks lead by 4. 109-105. Down to a minute 5 left.
As long as you have uneven numbers, it's going to force the Pistons to put up a 3-pointer somewhere along the line in the last minute of this game.
Big ones for Bernard, and it's a 5-point Knick lead. Under a minute left. Thomas getting it down quickly, and fouled again by Sparrow. So Rory is fouled out. Isaiah Thomas will go to the line once again.
Now, Hubie Brown is putting in Louis Orr. This means that Ray Williams will handle the ball. But Orr is coming in for Truck Robinson. Trent Tucker will come in for Sparrow. But this still makes Ray Williams the ball handler. Ray has to have total concentration because Detroit will put pressure on the Knicks after these free throws.
Isaiah has hit his last 4. He's 5 for 6 from the line. He's hung in despite the foul trouble in the second half. Had a little too much on it, but he got the back rim.
I tell you, you know, the great ball players, they seem to, you know, get up for the occasion. King hit his free throws. Thomas has gone to the free throw line, hit 1 of 2 as Orr comes up with the rebound.
Down to 50 seconds left. Knicks lead by 4. Here's King.
And that could have been the backbreaker right there as Bernard King beat the Pistons on the stuff then.
Isaiah right back and the foul.
Hubie Brown did not want a foul in that situation. Isaiah Thomas coming back down the floor. He was bumped. He hit the shot. Here you see Isaiah going through the whole defense, and he's bumped right there by Ray Williams as Ray was trying to step away. The foul was called on him. It's going to put Darrell Walker and Tucker to handle the backcourt situation as a timeout was called.
Foolish foul. He should have stepped away.
He was trying to step away in the replay. Unfortunately, as Isaiah Thomas put up the shot, his momentum was carrying into Ray Williams. There was contact made as Ray was looking up at the shot. So he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. As far as the Knicks are concerned, as far as Detroit is concerned, it's the right place.
So Ray Williams has fouled out. 17 points for Ray. 45 seconds remaining, 4th quarter. When we resume, following this timeout, again it will be Thomas on the foul line. A 112-108 Knick lead.
Basically, there are only 2 shots left in this game. After Thomas shoots the free throws, he can very easily make it a 3-point game. What the Knicks should try to do is come down and run some clock and then get the ball down inside to either Cartwright or King, but they have to do it on the move, Marv. They cannot afford to try to get either one of those players standing still, or else Detroit will continue to play the good defense and possibly come up with a steal or a turnover. If the Knicks do score, what they need to do is to come back, play the good defense, and not foul. And when the shot goes up, go to the boards and hope for the rebound.
And Isaiah Thomas, despite the foul difficulty, has come through with another strong second half. He has 24 points in all, 21 of the 24 in the second half. He's 8 for 11 from the floor in the second half. And the Pistons hearing it from this crowd as they move back on. And Darrell Walker has checked in, replacing Ray Williams. So Walker and Tucker at the guards, Cartwright, King, and Orr up front. And here is Isaiah Thomas getting set as he missed his last foul shot. Knicks by 4. It's a 3-point lead. The pressure on Orr. And did he step out? He did.
Pressure defense by the Detroit Pistons causing a turnover. That time, as Louis Orr stepped out on the baseline, Detroit now has a chance to come within 1 point.
Isaiah, it's within 1. 36 seconds left. And the Knicks call for time. The Knicks led by as many as 8 down the stretch here in this fourth quarter. And they are now clinging to a 1-point lead with 36 seconds remaining.
Isaiah Thomas has brought the crowd up off of the seats. They are cheering as you see him go to his thing, making the penetration move and scoring against Darrell Walker. Walker did the right thing by backing off and letting Thomas shoot the jump shot, not creating a three-point play possibility. Now the Knicks have the option here on this timeout. They can take the ball to half court and try to get the ball in bounds, or they can take it out of bounds up underneath, up under Detroit's hoop. But the important thing is that they have to get the ball in bounds and then run some of the clock and try to get up a good shot before the 24-second shot clock runs out. The timeout situation is that the Knicks have 1 timeout left, no 20 seconds, and Detroit has 2 timeouts left, not a 20-second.
The crowd here at Joe Louis Arena on its feet and cheering the Pistons. Isaiah Thomas has done it again. He has scored 11 of the Pistons' last 13 points to lead this surge. The Knicks will throw it in front court. They have the full 24 and 36 seconds remaining. It has come down to this for the 5th and final game. They want to spread it out. Here's King over Curitan. Yes! Bernard King has given the Knicks a 114-111 lead with 26 seconds remaining and a timeout by Detroit.
You're talking about take charge. The Knicks barely got the ball in times before the 5 seconds was up. Bernard King gets it to Cartwright. Cartwright gets it back to King, and King says, look, clear out the side. I got Curitan on me. He goes between his legs, goes baseline, hits a patented little jump shot on the baseline. Now the 6th man, so to speak, the crowd is stunned as Detroit now is forced to somehow get a 3-point play out of this possession for them.
Bernard King has hit his last 6 field goals. He now has 40 points.
And that may be the biggest shot of the season for Bernard King and the New York Knicks as he hits the shot against Earl Curitan. The Knicks are up by 3 with 26 seconds to go. As both ball clubs, as we see another angle, you'll get the same results regardless of how you look at it. As both ball clubs now have 1 timeout left. Now, if Detroit cannot get up a 3-point shot or get a 3-point play, they will probably try to score as soon as possible. Then see if they can somehow come up with a turnover or a quick foul and put New York Knicks on the free throw line to see whether or not they can shoot the free throws. In this situation, if they cannot get up a three-point shot and Detroit can score a two-pointer, what they should do is try to foul immediately when the ball is inbounded.
Here are the Pistons moving back on. .26 seconds remaining. Detroit has the full 24.
And you have Webster in the game for defensive measures, along with Cartwright, King, Tucker, and Walker.
And Tripucka looking to inbound. King went for the steal. Isaiah, three-point attempt. He's got it! We're tied! And a timeout called by the Knicks. Well, players on both teams have come through with pressure shots. We saw Bernard King a moment ago hitting for the baseline, then Isaiah Thomas, and now Darrell Walker.
The important thing here, Marv, is exactly what you said. Throw it in. The Knicks do not have a timeout left. They must get the ball inbounds.
He threw it out of bounds. And it's Detroit ball.
The Knicks are complaining that the ball was knocked out of bounds. Darrell Walker was, as Detroit just called their last timeout.
So the Pistons will take over. The Knicks could not get it in, and it was a panic toss by Walker.
Well, the Knicks have had problems all year long getting the ball inbounds on the sideline, as you see right there, as everybody on the Detroit bench is saying, it is a turnover, our ball. You have to credit Detroit for playing the good defense on that particular play. Now it's up to the Knicks to see if they can get up for the challenge of playing good defense, hoping that Detroit doesn't score, trying to force an overtime.
And Isaiah Thomas has scored 15 of the Pistons' last 17 points, leading this surge. 23 seconds remaining. Tied at 114. And the Pistons take over.
The New York Knickerbockers, who have relied on their defense all year long, the third best defensive team in the NBA, must really see if they can buckle down right here and stop the Detroit Pistons, and then hope for an overtime or hope for a victory in this situation.
Marvin Webster comes on replacing Louis Orr, so it's King, Webster, Cartwright up front. Walker and Tucker in the backcourt. Tripucka will throw in. Gets it into Laimbeer. Here's Thomas. 20 seconds. Watched by Walker. The Knicks don't want a foul. Both clubs are over the limit. 10 seconds. Isaiah checking the clock. 5 seconds. Here's Thomas. He's stripped by Walker. Gets it down to Tucker. 2 seconds. He tries to get it away. Let's see if they
Walker was fouled before. Walker was fouled before. Daryl Garrison is not going to allow, as timeout ran out. Hubie Brown can't believe it.
They say no foul.
They said Walker was not. They said that Tucker was not fouled before the shot, before the clock went off. It looked like there was a second left when Tucker went up for the shot, but Garrison waved it off. Detroit has new life, as well as the Knicks had new life. We only have 5 more minutes to play, Marv. Buckle up.
So the officials say the foul came after the clock had run out.
It was close. It was close because he was in the motion and he started to the hoop with a second to go. It could have gone either way. The official closest to the play made a foul call. He was going to call foul, but the trailing official said that it was not. So now we have an overtime.
Tied at 114. So the Pistons had their opportunity. And that time, Darrell Walker came up with the play off the strip to take possession. We're going to take another look at it.
Okay, why not? Let's take a look. Well, here you see Walker. He's already stripped Thomas of the ball and makes the long pass down to Tucker. Tucker is on his way up, and Daryl Garrison made the right call.
Yes, he did.
So I thought he was wrong. Garrison was right. I'm pretty sure he'll see that film.
Or tape, in this case.
Excuse me.
Or the
tape.
tape era,
tape,
Butch.
tape. I thought I was in Hollywood.
Yes.
I didn't know. So we have an overtime, Marv. And it's almost fitting.
And both clubs beset by foul problems. For the Knicks, Sparrow and Williams have fouled out. King has 5. Orr has 5. For the Pistons, 5 on Thomas, 5 apiece on Lane Beer, Tripucka, and Benson. On to OT. And the Pistons go with a front line of Lane Beer with Curidan and Tripucka. And Curidan, who is the leaper, will jump against Cartwright. Pistons control. Here's Thomas. But he put the brakes on. Vinnie Johnson in the backcourt now with Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah off the pick. Lane Beer. Pistons by 2. 116-114.
The ball bouncing right straight back to Lambeer. He put it up to put Detroit up by 2, starting the overtime.
Walker rejected by Curidan. The interception by Tucker, who fires and hits, so we're tied at 116.
Boy, big basket by Trent Tucker that time, making the steal and then putting up the shot as the pressure and the tension mounts.
Thomas hounded by Walker. And he throws one. Johnson getting up. Tripucka on the rebound, stopped by Walker.
Boy, the Knicks were lucky that time. Johnson having a golden opportunity to score. He missed it. Tripucka almost putting it up, but Walker with those quick hands of his knocked the ball out of bounds.
A minute gone by in this 5-minute overtime session. Lane Beer stopped by Walker. What a play.
And the ball went out on Lane Beer, so they gave it to Detroit. Walker making an excellent defensive play. The Knicks just could not come up with the ball.
Darrell Walker, who had the 7 steals in game 1 at the Silverdome.
11 seconds on the shot clock as we have a little cleanup by one of the ball boys near the Knick bench.
Tied at 116 on a bucket by Lane Beer. And then Trent Tucker able to hit from the angle. 7 on the shot clock. King had to let him go, did not want to pick up the foul. And let's see what the call is. Will not
Going
count.
to call a foul. Oh, Bill Lane Beer pushing Bill Cartwright from behind. That's Bill Lane Beer's 6th foul.
So Lane Beer departs, leaves with 14. And Chuck Daly was trying the combination of Curidan and Lane Beer, something we have not seen too frequently, but now Lane Beer is gone, and Kent Benson will come on.
Bill Lane Beer trying to get to the offensive boards, pushed Cartwright from behind. The inside official did not see it, but the outside official did. Lane Beer fouls out, Benson comes in.
Darrell Walker setting it, looking for Bernard King. Here's King. Orr keeps it alive. Lewis went up with the left hand. King with a sensational rebound. And the Knicks by 2.
Bernard King following the shot up and stuffing it back in to put the Knicks up by 2. Lewis Orr working the offensive boards effectively as well for the Knicks on that play.
King now has 42. And Earl Strom, the outside official, calling illegal defense.
The illegal defense was on Bill Cartwright as his man came up to the head of the circle. And that's the first illegal defense called against the Knicks as Detroit takes the ball out of bounds and Bernard King goes to Mike Saunders for medical treatment.
Strom thought it was the second ready to throw the tee. at the Knicks, but it is the first, so that's the zone warning. 3:15 left. We're in overtime. Pistons with possession. Knicks lead it by 2. And Isaiah carefully setting up. 8 on the shot clock. Tripucka. Rebound, King. Bernard going to the boards and protecting.
And the Knicks have to get the ball across the 10-second line, or else Walker almost ended up getting a 10-second violation then.
There's Cartwright. Yes, and Cartwright gets the roll. The Knicks lead it by 4. 120-116. We're down to 2.5 left in overtime. Johnson. Tucker slaps it and King rescues.
Right now, the Knicks have to get the ball up the floor. Again, as Hubie Brown calls the play, trying to get Walker's attention.
Wants to get it to Bernard. 5 on the shot clock. Tucker in traffic, and he's fouled, so he'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
The Knicks are really nursing the clock right now. That time trying to get the ball down to Bill Cartwright. Walker couldn't. He got it back to Trent Tucker. Trent Tucker went to the hoop. He was fouled. Trent, who normally doesn't go to the hoop, normally doesn't shoot a lot of free throws, or shooting 2 pressure free throws right now.
First appearance on the line this evening. 75% free throw shooter. Trent Tucker, who has 2 field goals for 4. He hit from the angle to open up this overtime.
Here you see Bernard King shooting a little fall-away jumper. The ball is tapped around. Louis Orr is going to put up the left-handed shot. Watch Bernard King follow it up for the dunk.
And back to the live action. Tucker hit the second after missing the first. And the Knicks lead by 5. 121-116. Just under 2 remaining in overtime. Tripucka. And the Pistons are way off. Walker had it slapped away. Last touched by the Pistons.
They said Thomas knocked the ball out of Tucker's hand. Again, the Knicks ending up getting a break as Hubie Brown calls a play, and the Knicks getting ready to get the ball in bounds.
Pistons have gone cold in overtime. Isaiah Thomas even missing a couple. We're down to 1:40 remaining. Now Tripucka over to help out on Tucker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Walker on the spin. What a move by Darryl Walker. And the Knicks lead at 123-116. Timeout called by Detroit with 1:29 remaining.
Now that shot may weigh a ton, as New York now is up by 7 with 1:29 to go. Detroit still has one more timeout left. Big basket by Darryl Walker as he made the little spin move as the shot clock was running down, ducked up underneath the defender, put it up, ball rattled around, fell in, putting the Knicks up by 7. As you see Walker right there putting the shot up, it rattles around the rim, falls in. Knicks up by 7. Detroit calls timeout. Detroit is forced in a situation where they're in a must situation. They must score on this possession.
Pistons on fire down the stretch, led by Isaiah Thomas. But in overtime, they have scored only 1 field goal. That the bucket by Bill Laimbeer. That was the first field goal of overtime. Since then, it's been all Knicks.
Well, what the Knicks have done, they have forced, and especially in this overtime, you know that neither ball club is going to do anything crazy like try to get into their transition game. The Knicks have slowed the tempo down. They have started to run their half-court offense, forcing Detroit to do the same thing. Detroit has tried to settle for the perimeter jump shot. It hasn't fallen here in the overtime. The Knicks have been fortunate enough to get the ball down inside to the people that they would like to get it to. They have responded, so therefore the Knicks now are up by 7 with 1:29 left in OT.
9 unanswered points by the Knicks following that field goal by Laimbeer. Tucker came back to tie it, and the Knicks have taken command. Again, the crowd here at Joe Louis Arena looking to urge the Pistons on, but not as much fire as we heard before. It's been a long night.
It really has for the crowd and for you and for the players, but the game isn't over yet.
As the Knicks saw at the end of regulation, 3-point attempt, and Thomas does it again. It's a 4-point game, 123-119. Isaiah hitting his second 3-point field goal.
And that was a 30-footer.
Harris King, yes. 44 points for Bernard King.
And he hit that with 2 defensive players on him.
Isaiah again had an ocean from 3-point range. 125, 121, Knicks by 4, a minute 6 left. Bad pass. And knocked out, let's see, by the Knicks.
Pressure defense by Detroit, forcing the turnover that time. The Knicks need to get more than 2 people up there in order to get the ball in bounds. That's the most important thing at this stage, getting the ball in bounds.
All right, the Knicks have seen this movie before, and it was just some 10-15 minutes ago as the Pistons again look to get back into it. Benson looking to throw in. Bad pass, he couldn't find anyone. Trapuka on a recovery, he's tied up. Tied up by King. Trapuka feels he was fouled.
Darrell Garrison calling a jump ball. Kelly Trapuka says, I can't believe it. Darrell still gives him, Garrison that is, said, let's jump it up. Big break, Kelly Trapuka. Chuck Daly can't believe it. Chuck is upset. The most important thing now is regaining composure if you are a Detroit Piston fan.
Kelly putting himself in a human straitjacket so he can calm himself down. A minute 4 remaining. We are in overtime. Knicks control the tip, and then Tucker lost it. Big bucket for Curry. It's down to 2. A minute left. The Knicks lead at 125, 123, and a timeout call by the Knicks.
Well, 58 seconds left. Knicks are up by 2. Both ball clubs have 1 timeout left. As you see, Louis Orr having the ball knocked away from him by Kelly Trapuka. Darrell Garrison said it went off of Louis Orr. That was a big turnover as far as Detroit was concerned, because on the jump ball, Vinnie Johnson knocked the ball away from Trent Tucker when the Knicks regained control, and Detroit scored. Here we will see the jump ball situation. King gets the tap over to Tucker. There you see Johnson coming from behind. Curitan on his way to the hoop. He scores to put the game in this situation. Knicks up by 2. 58 seconds ago. Knicks will take the ball out of bounds. 3-quarter court. That's just like going to the ranch and asking for a good day's pay.
We'll be looking at this one as one of the memorable games of the season when we look back. Bernard King with 44 points. A host of clutch baskets, the same for Isaiah Thomas. Thomas with 35 points. And he has scored 20 of the Pistons' last 26 points. The Knicks lead it by 4, 127, 123. Down to 30 seconds. They double up on Trapuka. Walker knocking it away. Hubie Brown wanted the call, but it was last touched by Walker.
Good defense by Darrell Walker that time, doubling up on Kelly Trapuka, knocking the ball away as 16 seconds is left on the shot clock, 29 on the game.
Johnson, Trapuka, not able to hit. Webster on the rebound.
And Detroit should foul right away. They're going back defensively. This is a big break for the Knicks. All they need to do is hold on to the ball.
And finally, Vinnie Johnson gives the foul on Darrell Walker.
That could have been a little too late because Detroit had an opportunity to foul Marvin Webster, who had gotten the rebound, probably the biggest rebound for the New York Knicks this season. Instead, they let New York bring the ball up and waste a lot of time. Now it's up to Walker to shoot 2 free throws with 15 seconds left in the game with New York up by 4. He's a 79% free throw shooter.
making his first appearances on the line. He's had some difficulty from the foul line of this series.
Chuck Daly will call a timeout this time.
So Darrell missing both, and the timeout called.
Uh-oh, this is going to be interesting. Woo! Woo! That's what you call anticipation. Currington comes down with the miss free throw. Looked like Tucker had knocked the ball away, but timeout is called. Marv, I want to explain the last play. Normally in a situation like that, when you're shooting free throws down the stretch, a coach will tell the official that if he hits or miss, we're going to call a timeout. So Earl Strom knew that Detroit wanted to call the timeout, so when Currington came down with the missed shot, he automatically whistled for a timeout as Tucker knocked the ball away from Earl Currington. So if you're a Knicks fan, it's a bad break. If you're a Detroit fan, it's a big break.
14 seconds remaining. Overtime, Knicks by 4. 127, 123. Here's Krapuka. Three-point attempt. Down to 5 seconds. Knicks just keeping it away from the boards. 2, 1. And that's it. The New York Knicks have defeated the Detroit Pistons in overtime. 127-123 to take the series in 5. And they'll go on to face the Boston Celtics on Sunday afternoon. Ray Williams very upset with the official timekeeper. He felt it was a long count on those final seconds and went over to have something to say. And
well,
had
it's
to be kept
history
away.
now, regardless of what's happening. Ed Middleton came up, the alternate official, and told Ray that the clock did not go off, as Hubie Brown and the Knicks are congratulating themselves.